What's up, guys? Super Casual here with another Clash Royale video. Today Supercell announced the new balance changes coming for September for the game Clash Royale. Gonna have just some video in the back playing, replays, chest openings, things of that nature, while I read off these balance changes and give my thoughts. So the first change is the Giant is having its damage decreased by 5%. Supercell said the Giant will still hit hard after this change. He has really big fists after all. We just wanted to take a little bit of power from his offensive capabilities, as his main role is to soak up damage. So as most of you know, in most games, a tank's purpose is to take all the damage while everything else, will kill off whatever. So it's basically, I guess, reducing the Giant to a standard tank role, which it hadn't really been a true standard tank, I guess, in the past. It was a fairly strong offensive card because it had so much HP that it could soak up so much damage, and then it did roughly 200 damage to a tower per swing. And unless you had the right combinations of cards, it was almost guaranteed to get to the tower with a decent amount of HP left. So probably a good change. It'll probably won't make much of a difference on the meta initially. A lot of people are still going to play the same decks. You're not going to see everybody jump ship. I mean, look at the number of Hog decks that are still around after the Hog Rider has been nerfed 2 to 3 times over the last 4 or 5 months. But it might take some of the potency out of them. I mean, they'll still be good decks, but they won't be, kind of OP'd like the Giant Poison that's running around right now. Or Giant Sparky, might lose a little bit of its strength. So probably a good change. It allows for more variety in decks to be played and, winning. Next change up is the Rage spell. The elixir cost is being decreased to 2 elixir from 3, but the effect is being decreased to a 30% boost instead of 40%, and the duration is decreased by 2 seconds. So basically what's going on here is it's cheaper to play, which means it'll be easier to get it out, but it doesn't do as much. 30% instead of 40%. Honestly, won't make a difference for most cards. The lower the damage of the card, the less difference it makes, and the faster the attack speed, the less difference it makes. Or the slower the attack speed, rather, the less difference it'll make. I mean, we will, still see an, increase on, speed and damage done from the Rage effect, but it just won't be as drastic. And then with the duration decreased, 2 seconds. Yeah, I mean, it'll make a difference. I mean, everything here is going to make a difference. It's just, I can actually see, this one actually has me a little concerned. I can see this being played quite a bit moving forward because of that elixir cost decrease. The boost effect, I don't think that's going to be the reason for it, obviously, because that's a nerf. And same with the duration, but with that cost being dropped to 2, I can see it being pulled out so much more. Because I can see just Giant with 3 Musketeers behind it and somebody dropping that Rage spell as soon as your troops, make it up to the Giant. Because they're definitely going to have the elixir by then. I mean, it's only 1 elixir they have to gain after dropping the 3 Musketeers. The next change they made is to the Lumberjack. Basically, they just made the effect of the Lumberjack's Rage the same as the regular Rage spell, so a 30% increase for speed and damage with the 2-second duration decrease. Other than that, nothing's changed. Just his regular damage, his attack damage, and his movement speed are still going to be the same. Nothing's changed there. It's just that Rage effect has been changed just to remain, consistent with the regular Rage spell. Again, I don't think this will make much of a difference. Anybody that's using a lumberjack will probably still use a lumberjack. It just won't be as lethal, in theory. Alright, the change after that is the mirror. So they've altered the mirror so that the mirror is going to basically make a duplicate card one level higher than the level of that card. Supercell said, "We love the surprise element Mirror brings to the battle, and we've been having a blast playtesting this new version. At Tournament Standard, Mirror will bring a truly unique element to your deck, making your cards one level higher than the tournament cap. Also, a max level Mirror will create max level +1 cards." Can you imagine in tournament play seeing like a level 2 Sparky, like two level 2 Spark, or a level 1 and a level 2 Sparky barreling down the lane at you with a giant in front of it? Oh, that's honestly just gonna give me nightmares. Or a level 2 princess, level 1 and a level 2 princess on the field, as you have I don't know, goblins and minions coming down the field at them. It's just gonna wreck you. So that one is going to be a pretty big change. And then in ladder play, I mean, just can you imagine level 14 commons if you're maxed out, or like a level 9 P.E.K.K.A. or level 9 Prince. It would just be ugly. Granted, the max level +1 really won't make a difference unless you're a level 13 with fully maxed out cards. But hey, it'll still make a difference even at the lower arenas, because it'll still be going a level +1 on whatever card that you have. Third to last change is to the lightning spell. They've added a stun effect for the lightning spell. Basically, they said due to its low use rate and partly for consistency with the zap spell, they're adding a brief stun effect to make it more unique and hopefully an interesting addition to some decks. So this won't have nearly as much of an effect as people might think off the bat, but due to the fact that it's not going to it's not going to leave that many troops alive that it hits. So that stun effect will only affect a few select cards, like a knight, maybe a giant, royal giant. Now, granted, I can see people using it to get a huge chunk of damage onto a royal giant or a regular giant, as well as causing them to retarget onto maybe, let's say, a cannon that's placed right next to it or something. I can definitely see that happening. But it's like I said, it's not going to kill too many things. So, it's not going to leave too many things alive that it hits because of the amount of damage that it does. You can also use it to make a tower retarget, perhaps. Although, it's a bit expensive to, just to retarget stuff. But if, with the amount of damage it's doing as well, it's still a good card. So that will be interesting to see. Second to last change is to the log. The log is going to start knocking back all ground troops. There's no qualifier here based on size, so that means everything's getting knocked back. Giant, royal giant, knight, dark knight, everything is getting knocked back. So this is going to definitely be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if it resets the charge on the princes. I don't think it will based on the way it's worded, but simply knocking it back, you could knock it back and drop a cheap troop in front of it, or like drop goblins and hit the knight with the knockback, so that the knight doesn't hit the tower and then hits the goblins, or something along those lines. Especially with it only costing 1 elixir, this could definitely be interesting. No, is it 1 elixir? I don't remember. I don't have a log, so I don't really know the struggle of a free-to-play player. I can see some interesting combinations coming up from that, though. That will be definitely interesting to see. And then the last change that they made is to the bomber. They've decreased its damage, its HP by 2%, and then increased its damage. So, we're talking like 3 to 4 crown tower damage, or just damage in general. So this isn't going to make much of a difference. It's more about consistency from level, like at level 1 interacting with a, level 1, barbarians or something like that. Basically, they want the card to behave the same when it matches up against each individual card at whatever level they are. If they're equal level, they should always interact the same way. So that's the point of doing this, is just to make sure that they interact the same way no matter what their level is. So that will definitely be an interesting change, but probably won't actually make that much of an impact. Most people won't even notice it. It's not like when they increased the damage of the P.E.K.K.A, the Dark Prince, and the Knight. As you know, I play a P.E.K.K.A deck, so P.E.K.K.A double Prince. So when they buffed all 3 of those cards, my deck got a huge buff. On paper, it doesn't seem like that much. I mean, 5% here, 4% there, that kind of thing, but it all added together to make for a huge, huge increase. Since they did that update, I've pushed from about 2,700 trophies to, I believe I'm at 3,230 right now. So, I mean, 500 trophy increase with that last balance change when they did that. So, I mean, these changes do make a huge difference. I'm actually going to be... I'm kind of scared of the rage spell. That's probably got me, the most afraid, is that rage spell change with that elixir cost decrease. I'm definitely concerned about that. And then the next one that has me concerned the most is the mirror. Nothing like facing a guy that's like on the verge of getting out of level 10 to level 11, but he's already got level 11 commons, but then he plays a mirrored one, and now he has level 12. So he plays a Royal Giant, and then right behind that, maybe he plays, Royal Giant again, and he has a level 11 and a level 12 Royal Giant, both just chipping away at your tower. All that HP, all that damage. I'm just coming up with random combinations here. I mean, things that would bother me. But I can definitely see that just being a problem card moving forward. Great for the people that are playing it, but those who are playing against it that don't want to change up like that, it will definitely be interesting to see. So that is basically all of the changes that they've made. A little bit of my thoughts on it. Feel free to comment down below with your thoughts as well. I'd like to hear from my viewers and see what you guys think. Definitely leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share the video, send it to your mom in an email. You know how it goes. And I will, get a video up soon with some more gameplay. I'm going to switch it up. I got to switch to another deck, especially now with the Giant getting nerfed. I don't know if I really want to play a Giant Sparky deck right now, like I had been planning to do. But let me know what you think. If you have any ideas, just leave me a suggestion down below. Keep in mind that a lot of my cards are under-leveled for where I'm at. Most of my leveling went into my main, P.E.K.K.A double Prince deck. So that my other cards, I have mostly level 6 rares, level 7 rares. I have a few, level 8s, like my Musketeer. But overall, most of my cards are a little under-leveled for where I'm at on the ladder. Being ranked at 3,200 trophies and playing with like level 6 rares is pretty rough to do. And I just, yeah, you know how it goes. So, like I said, leave a like, share, send it to your mom in an email, and you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.